Happy autumn to everybody out there on the third day of autumn, I think it is, or is it the fourth?
It's the fifth.
It's all right. Told you it's been a long week.
Big week.
Yes, it has indeed. And Cam Russell, those wonderful mushroom tours. Also, if you're ever in Beaufort, he has a rather lovely cafe in there, so it's well worth a visit. But he's only been there for just an eye blink of time when we look at things. But when we do look down Collins Street, we see a glorious, glorious, glorious arcade, and within the confines of this incredible National Trust property, and its incredible mosaic floor, is a place that has been serving tea and comestibles that go with it, and doing it extremely well. Had a renaissance in, say, I think about the last 10 years, but Kelly can say whether I've been right or wrong on that. It is an auspicious day, and to talk about that auspicious day, on the line we have Kelly. A very, very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Cameron. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I have the prospect of drinking some rather lovely wine later on in the show, so that is kind of good. We're going to talk about vintage, but I really wanted to talk to you about a day. Well, you must be kind of beside yourself because this is an incredible day. Tell us about the Hopetoun Tea Rooms.
Hopetoun Tea Rooms. Well, we're celebrating our 125th anniversary this year.
Wow.
And although we don't have a specific date, we are...
So this is an arbitrary thing. It's like, we're going to say it's here.
It's here. It's the whole year. Let's start celebrating.
Yes.
So, yes, it's actually a very exciting time to be part of this. It's wonderful. 125 years. It's a long time in Melbourne's history.
How did it... do you know much about how it was when it first opened? And the sort of things that they served? Obviously, there was tea that would have come in probably tea clippers to Port Melbourne, then would have come up by train on the old Sandridge Bridge and stuff like that. But what were people having with their teas in those days?
Geez, there's not much information, unfortunately. I've looked tirelessly to find some information or some images of back in the early days, but I think the earliest I could get was in the 50s. Some women dressed beautifully,
hats,
gloves
lots of hats.
And looking into the window. I mean, that's one of the earliest ones that I've been privileged to see.
And still with that marvellous mosaic floor that was there, would have been in that photo?
Absolutely, it's just magnificent.
Do you know that was covered up with some sort of linoleum for decades, apparently, and it was rediscovered by, I don't know, we'll call some maintenance guy called Barry, and he was looking under and went, gee, look at this under here, and it was revealed again.
Oh.
But who was Hopetoun, just out of interest?
So, Hopetoun Tea Rooms was named after Lady Hopetoun, and Lady Hopetoun was the first Victorian governor's wife. And she started the Tea Rooms for the Ladies' Work Association. So all the women that worked in the area and used to gather and drink tea. And
this is women of a certain class, I would imagine, wouldn't it? Not.
Well, I don't think it started that way. I thought it was for all the women that worked in the area, and it used to be the fashion district. So all the girls that used to sew and embroider and bead all the beautiful dresses back in the day.
Because Flinders Lane was sort of known as that was the manufacturing or the garment district, was it not?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But, very close proximity to the block.
And how long has it been? How long have you been involved with the place?
It's actually this month 7 years. It's amazing. It's been an extraordinary 7 years. I've seen the business grow and change, and not change in a
physical sense,
bad way.
Yeah.
No, very much the same. But have seen the age groups of our customers become younger and younger and younger.
Really?
So quite diverse. Lots of lots of locals, of course, lots of regular patrons that have been coming there all their lives, which is really wonderful, very loyal. And then there's a lot of interstate and overseas visitors and repeat visitors as well, which is really nice.
Well, you know, I think, okay, I'm going to just throw you an accolade because you said about 7 years. That was the time when the display improved exponentially, I would say to you. It was a little bit of a tired old... you've improved... under your tutelage, I think it has improved marvellously. It is one of the best displays of cakes anywhere in Melbourne.
Thank you.
I've got to say, what's with all the cypress tree sort of action that you've got? Because there's these cypress leaf garnishes everywhere, and I'm thinking, every time I go by there, I'm thinking, whoever owns this place must have, like, some giant windbreak and some giant cypress that they have this never-ending supply.
Oh, I have an abundance of it at home.
There you go.
There you
go. But it looks really good.
It does look good. So I guess it's become a bit of our signature look. I just love a bit of, you know, greenery in the window and flowers, fresh flowers, of course, along with the fresh berries.
Yes, and the biggest, most wonderful-looking berries around, I think. You must spend a lot on that fruit and berry action.
Well, absolutely, but that's what it is. Our cakes are made fresh every day, and it's nothing better than having the most freshest fruit and berries to top them. It's good.
Yeah.
Very proud of it.
And just being able to inhabit the physical space, which is pretty much unchanged. Now, tell me, first of all, the wallpaper, is that the original wallpaper?
It's not the original, but I believe this one was...
When did that come in?
Probably in the mid-1960s.
Oh, okay.
I believe it was a Florence Broadhurst.
I was going to... I was going to say, is it... Okay, Florence, yes.
Yes,
that makes sense.
It's a Florence Broadhurst.
Oh, we should...
And
can we
synonymous with the tea rooms. Seriously, everyone knows us because of that green wallpaper.
Yeah, so we should just position her. Very, very famous Sydney designer during the late 50s and 60s, I think, was her era. And unfortunately, at a very untimely end. But we won't go into that. But the other thing, from the physical nature, the thing that I love about that place is that divine mirror that is in there. That's original, is it not?
That is original. That was commissioned for the Block Arcade back in 1891. And it did come from England, shipped from England, as were all the glass windows for the shop fronts.
Wow.
And they all came on a ship, and they were apparently layered with molasses in between them, so they were protected.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that how they did it? Because I would have been... Imagine unloading them, and because they probably would have gone on to they would have been in Port Melbourne Pier after being at sea for, I don't know, 8 to 12 months or something, and then they would have had to come across to Collins Street, and you wouldn't want to drop them.
No, you wouldn't. They are massive. So yes, the mirror ended up was firstly positioned in the arcade, kind of opposite the tea rooms.
Yes.
And it was there till I believe mid-1950s. Then moved to the store opposite the tea rooms.
Oh, which is now the German place.
Correct.
Gewürzhaus, yes.
Yes. And it was the back of their window as such. But the people at the time didn't want to keep it because women would go past and stop and check their makeup.
Oh, really? Okay.
Check their hair and not really take any notice of the store, so they didn't want it. And in the mid-1980s, the then owners of the tea rooms decided that they would take it into the tea rooms, and what a great move that was, because it's just perfect.
Marvellous
in the
move.
place that it's at. Yeah, it's just perfect.
Kelly, congratulations. So the place is open today?
Absolutely, we're open 7 days.
I mean, it's the only tea room I know that has a security bollard out the front of it, so there's got to be a testament to the success of the place. Is there any special things happening today at the tea room?
Well, on Tuesday we had a beautiful high tea event, which we held in the arcade for 125 people, and all the proceeds from that went to ovarian cancer Australia.
Oh, well done.
Well, that was a really lovely event, and we're all on a high still from that. But you know, it's like hosting a party at home every day, being at the tea rooms.
Well,
same every day.
Well, look, it is a marvellous part of what was marvellous Melbourne, and still makes Melbourne marvellous, I would say. A great link with the past, and has been made so much better by your tutelage, it's got to be said.
Thank you, Cameron. That's very nice.
No, actually, that's quite sincere. So congratulations on that. Happy 125th birthday.
Thank you.
It's been a delight speaking with you, and may it rain for many, 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 many more years.
Thank you. You'll have to come down for a cup of tea.
I think it'd be a great idea. Earl Grey for me, thank you. Actually, a little bit of Earl Grey with a little bit of black. I like a blend myself.
Fabulous.
That's just
Can
me.
do.
Okay. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Cameron. Lovely. Have a great day.
Will do. 12:22 here on 3RRR FM. Matt is champing at the bit because you need to say this.
I have a piece of paper
You have a
that I
piece
will
of
read
paper.
out. We've got a giveaway.
Yeah.